Let's see if we can do this without crashing something. Brakes work. Close enough. Pretty perfect, actually. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the next day. Obviously, last night it was a little too dark to do any kind of video, but we brought something else home. This one is for us. Actually, it's for my girlfriend. It's going to be her Christmas present. So I hope she's I hope she likes it. But we've got a 1937 Oliver Hart Parr 70. This was kind of the crossover between the Hart Parr company and the Oliver company. Essentially, it's the what one would call the unstyled version of the Oliver 70, which is here. So this was the predecessor to that. There's a lot of similarities. The engine is a little bit different. This is a 6-cylinder Continental. They call it the 5-gear or the 5 timing gear engine. Serial number plate is back here, 215606. Still got the generator on it. The engine is loose. It's got a distributor on it. Been converted to 12 volt. You can see the ballast resistor here. Battery in it. 8/5 of 19 is the date on the battery. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get that to hold a charge. Looks like there's quite a bit of Bondo on the side of the battery box here. Probably some rot in this area. So I do have all the side shields for it. They're in the shed. Throttle is missing the little round button on it, but that's not a huge deal. So it still works like it's supposed to. Choke works. This does have a motor lift on it, similar to the Case SC or John Deere. You pull the lever, it's circular, or it rotates around, lowers the implement, pull the lever again, rotates back around, raises the implement. So this one also has independent steer brakes, and if you look over here, it has this road brake, similar to what I have on my ZTU Moline. This was, I'm not sure if it was an option or if it was something that they added later, but a lot of times when they added this road brake, that meant that they upgraded the transmission from the 4-speed to the 6-speed. And these have dual neutral transmission. See if I can find the, they're kind of a, this one's real stiff. So there's my, I want to say 5th gear, or am I still in the lower quadrant? Second, 5th. I might be in the lower quadrant still. I think so. Yep, so there's 5th, there's 2nd, 1st. Now I'm in the lower quadrant. 6th, 4th, reverse, 3rd. These things are kind of a tricky. I'm sure the the grease is probably pretty old in there, but it's real stiff. It's missing the belt pulley, so we'll probably try to find one of those eventually. One thing I did notice, if you can see, there's a bunch of oil here. Well, there's a crack right here in the steering gear box. It goes, about up to here, comes around. So I would be willing to bet that this tower got water down into it. This is a cast iron tower that's threaded into the box. Just doing some research late last night. I'm betting that this tower got water down into it. It got down inside here and settled and froze and broke that. It steers pretty hard, so there's probably some bearing issues in there or something, or something's out of whack because of the crack there. So we'll have to take a look at that, possibly look at replacing the gearbox. The good news is I can use a gearbox from a Hart Parr 70 or an Oliver 70, but the difference is that tower that comes out, this one is a steel tube. That one is cast. So if I wanted to be correct, I would have to find a Hart Parr gearbox and tower, or at least a gearbox that accepts the threaded in cast tower. I really don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me as long as it steers good. So engine is loose, like I said. Carburetor doesn't look too bad. Sediment bowl, he said, is leaking, and just like Mark's Oliver 70, I can see where this bail nut was over tightened, and you can see kind of the bail is pulling down on the cast here and has deformed the casting. So I'll probably have to pull that off, try and straighten it out. He said he's got a new gasket and screen in there. There's not a whole lot of sediment in the bottom, so that's good. Tank is empty and dry, but there is some surface rust in there, so I'll probably take that off, clean it out, and put it back on. But my plan is I'm going to try to get this running with the bare minimum. So I'll take the fuel bowl off, try to straighten that out, clean the tank out, make sure the lines are clean, and put the tank back on and check to see if we got spark. Nice 7-inch flat lens lights. And check to see if we got spark, and could use some fixing on the wires. I'm guessing the mice probably chewed on this one, and this one's just looped through here, doesn't have a spade connector or anything, so we'll probably, we'll fix on this a little bit, doctor that up a little bit better, and see if we got some life. So see what we can do with it. Tires aren't real great. The one on the far side in the rear, that one is probably the best of all of them. This one's not too bad. It's pretty weather checked, but it's got pretty decent tread on it yet. This one is pretty rough. You can see this thing was sitting down in the dirt for a long time with how pitted the outside of this rim is. And I know it's not due to fluid because the valve stem is, if it was leaking, it'd be, you know, dripping here or it would be routed around the valve stem. But this is a clear indication of sitting underground because it's got the same thing going on the other side in the same spot. All this pitting here. But it's just cosmetic. It's not nothing. There's no rust throughs on it anywhere. So how about this one? Yeah, you can see where the paint is all missing there and it's all pitted. And it's the same thing on the other side. So this thing was sitting in the ground for a while. I mean, this tire is really bad. It's got furry friends here. Hello, guys. Does have F&H adjustable front wheels on it, which is kind of neat. That's a pretty rare option. Yeah, you can even see here the pitting where it was sitting in the ground. Check the other side. Yeah, same thing up here. Sitting in the ground up here. But kind of neat. Missing the hand crank. It does have coolant in it. It's holding coolant, so we'll get the tank pulled off, pull a couple of these nuts, remove the tank straps, pull the hood off. Kind of a interesting design on that. But it's got good bones. The paint isn't bad on it. It's definitely a repaint, but it's not bad. It's got the comfort style seat or the Monroe style seat on it. Excuse me, I just had breakfast, so breakfast is talking back. But new steering wheel. Somebody put a new steering wheel on it. It's got a PTO shield. So this thing is fairly original. I mean, fairly unmolested other than a 12 volt and the 6-speed upgrade. Be interesting to see how quickly it moves with the 6-speed. So anyhow, let's get started on it and see what we can do. Okay, take off your blindfolds.
It's so cute.
Look at yours, Raylan. You got the little red one.